with the Baga team, Royal LePage Norelta. Sorry about the technical difficulty we had a little bit earlier, so we are attempting take two. I am here with Tara Borle. Well, actually, we're not in the same room. We're at different houses, but Tara Borle from Mortgage Architects, and we are going to answer some questions that have been sent in throughout the week. Hi, Tara.
Hi, Kim. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you again for coming. So let's just get right into it here. The first question that was sent to us was, are banks wanting to lend money now during this COVID-19 thing that's happening?
Kim, yes, the banks are for sure lending money and open for business. What I would say is the banks are doing a little bit more due diligence whenever it comes to employment. They're asking for recent pay stubs and maybe extra supporting paperwork, letter of employment, just to show that the applicant is currently working. But their message is clear. Yes, they are for sure open for business.
Awesome. So, can you give us a little information about this deferral program that they're talking about and how it works?
For sure. Our phones have been flooded with that question. So what the deferral program is a program where a client can add not have to have a monthly payment, but the interest is added on to the mortgage, and the client's monthly payment increases for the duration of their mortgage. And it doesn't increase much. Let's say you did a 6-month deferral, and then the interest would be added on. So maybe your monthly payment would be increased by $40 or $50 per month. So you don't increase your amortization. There are some banks, I did find out today, that are having their clients increase their amortization. So there are two different ways that can be done. I think the majority of the banks are keeping the amortization the same and just increasing the monthly payment slightly to offset that deferral.
Okay. And how do you request a deferral?
Well, I would like to say just pick up the phone and phone the bank, but the banks are so flooded right now. They're just inundated with calls with people that are requesting this deferral. So definitely you can pick up the phone. It's hard to get through. The majority of the banks have put an online portal where you can go. So double check your online banking if you're not having any luck getting through on telephone banking. As well, there are still banks with branches open. Some of the branches have closed. Some of the branches have reduced hours. And obviously you want to use that as your last resort. But definitely you can do that as well. Go into the branch, phone ahead is what I would say. That way you're not getting there and getting turned away because they don't have someone available. But all three of those avenues you could try. So phone, online banking, or actually go into the branch. One of the questions too, Kim, that we were getting is, should a client do the deferral? And I think 100%, if you are struggling and money is tight, maybe you've been laid off, then definitely I think the deferral is a great option. It does cost you not a ton more, but a little bit more money in the end. But rather than having, your credit wrecked or anything like that, definitely go in and ask for the deferral rather than struggling.
So does the deferral wreck your credit at all?
No, there was a few posts on Facebook that I saw where people thought it did wreck your credit, but by no means does it wreck your credit. The banks have put this program in place for people to use while they have unforeseen circumstances. And no, definitely the banks did not put this program in place and it's wrecking your credit. If you have a deferral and it has been processed, no, it is not going to affect your credit negatively.
Okay, awesome. What happens, like I'm having a lot of buyers, they're scared to put in an offer or to purchase right now because what if they lose their job in a month or so? Are they able to get a deferral if they've just moved in?
If you've just moved into your house, we had lots of clients last month that have phoned in and were unfortunately laid off and did take advantage of the bank's deferral programs. So at this point, the banks that we're talking to are not asking for any paperwork to prove that you've been laid off or anything like that. And it doesn't matter on the possession date if you moved in a week ago or a month ago or a year ago. As far as I know, they are processing all of those deferrals. And not only deferrals, Kim, for your primary residence, if you have a client that has a rental property and maybe the tenant hasn't paid, that you can also request a deferral on a rental property, and the banks have been processing those as well. So that's definitely something to take advantage of if you have a renter that hasn't paid you.
Okay, awesome. What about appraisals? Like, are they still sending appraisers into homes? Are they still able to get into the homes?
Banks are for sure still wanting and requesting appraisals. The way that appraisals are getting done is changing almost daily. One of the things that the banks are now doing is drive-by appraisals. I've seen more of that happening. I've seen appraisals being done where the bank actually allowed the client to take the interior photos of the house and submit that to the appraiser. So the appraiser didn't actually have to go inside the property. He did outside the property and had the client take the interior photos, and the bank accepted that. So, the banks are doing everything they can because they don't want to put any of the partners that they work with at risk either.
Yeah, I know that with real estate as well, like some of the sellers are even doing videos of the homes inside just to help get their houses sold if they're not wanting us to go in there and do it. Otherwise, we are going in and doing virtual open houses of all our listings and sending them to people that are wanting to look at what the property looks like but don't want to actually go inside. So we are doing things way differently, but we are also doing things the original way as well, just with safety precautions, with gloves, masks, things like that. But yeah, it's tough out there right now, but things are selling, things are buyers are buying. It's just,
I
it's a
was
good
on a
thing.
conference call the other day, and the person leading the conference call said it's business as not usual, unusual. So there is still business going on. It's just the way that the process is goes on is being tweaked almost every day. So
Yep,
appraisals,
yeah.
signing, everything like that is getting changed all the time.
That's actually a really good way of putting it.
Yeah, when he
So,
said that, I said, yeah.
what about banks? Are they doing pre-approvals now that so many people are getting laid off?
Banks are for sure doing pre-approvals. We have clients calling in. We have clients call in today. A few clients call in to get pre-approved today. Banks are for sure doing pre-approvals. In order to get pre-approved, though, you do have to be gainfully employed. So what the bank is looking for is pay stub, again, letter of employment, possibly a T4. Even if you have worked for your employer for 5 years and you just got laid off and you're going to be back at work at 3 months, right now, we could process your file, but you won't be actually pre-approved until you are back at work. So you do have to be at work getting a paycheck in order to be pre-approved.
Okay. What about getting a cosigner? Like if you knew that you're going to be going back to work and everything, but you just don't have that employment at the moment, would you be able to use a cosigner?
For sure. And that's a great option, Kim. Cosigners are great for people that maybe haven't had time to, that are younger, maybe haven't had time to establish a really good credit bureau that the bank can see. Sometimes what we'll do is add a cosigner to those files. Right now, with everything going on, if you are currently laid off and you want to go ahead and purchase a house, definitely we can add a cosigner onto your file to
And how
get
easy
you.
is it to
uh,
get a cosigner off the file?
It's relatively easy. In order to remove the cosigner, you have to qualify on your own. So, what the bank would look at is, okay, if we pull this person off, how's your credit? And have you paid everything on time since you've lived in this house? Have you acquired any new debt since you've lived in this house? And how much money are you making? And is that income enough to pay for the mortgage, the property tax, and everything else? So, yeah, definitely we can pull a cosigner off down the road.
Okay, so that would be good for, like, say, a student that knows they only have one more year left of school. They could get a cosigner, and then say 3 years from now, when they're making the big bucks, they can just get that cosigner removed.
For sure. That's a great example of a situation that we would use a cosigner.
Awesome. What are the rates right now?
Rates are great, Kim. Variable rate right now is hovering around prime rate, so 2.45. Fixed rates, if you are looking at putting less than 20% down, looking at a rate of about 2.69. If you have more than 20% down, you're looking about 2.89, somewhere in there. Again, although the banks are a little bit different, but that's kind of the rate that you could expect right now. So rates, I think, are fantastic. I've had a lot of clients calling in that have variable rates right now, looking to lock in. But some of the variable rates that clients have had in the past, prime less, 0.7, prime less, 0.45, what the majority of them are doing is just maintaining their current rate that they have, because a client I talked to yesterday, they were 1.45. It's tough to tell a client with that kind of a rate, yeah, lock into a fixed rate at 2.89. So there are some great rates right now, and I think they're going to kind of stay about the same they are right now for the next few months, is what I'm hoping anyway.
Okay. With times being tough right now, are you still able to buy a home without having a down payment?
That's a good question, Kim. Yeah, definitely you can buy a house without a down payment. The down payment has to come from somewhere. So you don't have to have savings for the down payment. You could get a line of credit or a loan and use that as the down payment. So the only downfall about that is you're going to move into your new house, have your mortgage payment. You're also going to have a loan payment or a line of credit payment as well. So that's something to keep in mind. When we do an application for a client with the borrow down payment, or flex down it's called, we also take that into account, that when we figure out what they're pre-approved for, we also take into account that they're going to have to be repaying so much money on a loan every month or a line of credit every month. So no, that's a great product, and it's I think a product we're going to see a little bit more of. Not all of the banks participate in the Flex Down program, but it is a great program for someone that can't quite save up all of the money for down payment or any of the money for down payment.
Okay, awesome. So I have one last question, Tara, and this one is from the kids. With all this
Okay,
COVID-19 and social distancing, is the Easter Bunny still going to come?
Kim, the Easter Bunny is still going to come. Well, I sure hope so, because
Yay!
I want to eat all of the little chocolate eggs. So definitely the Easter Bunny is going to come this year.
Awesome. So I just want to thank Tara for being as awesome as she always is. If you guys do need any have any mortgage questions or want pre-approved for a mortgage, you can reach Tara at 780-237-7653. If you have any real estate needs, we are open for business. Like I said, we're just doing things a little bit differently, but houses are selling, buyers are buying. You can reach me at 780-566-7974. Thank you for joining us, and it's been a pleasure, Tara, and thank you again for taking time out of your evening to educate us all.
Thank you, Kim, very much for having me, and I'm excited to hear that you're going to be a grandma, so that's very exciting news too.
Yes, I'm looking very forward to it. I'm going to be having a grandson on around July 5th. So yeah, that's our first grandchild, and we are very excited.
I can already tell that that baby is going to be a spoiled little boy because you are going to be the best grandma. That's a very lucky little boy.
Thank you. Yes, he will be very spoiled on both sides of the family. Well, thanks again, Tara, and Steve. Thanks for doing this for us, and
Thank you, Steve.
we'll talk to you again another night. Have a great
Thanks,
Easter,
Kim.
everybody.
Thank you.